Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Unbalanced with me, Cerys Davage. How are we all? I'm really excited because today I'm bringing back an old friend, but not necessarily a friend because I haven't had a chance to speak to him properly. I met him at the LGMD conference 2025 back in July in Orlando, but we only met on the final day, and I wish I'd met him sooner because he was one cool dude when I met him. So I'm really excited to actually get into a deep conversation without kind of being passing shits. So, Fred, hi, welcome to Unbalanced.
Hello, thank you, Karis, for having me.
It's been a while since the conference now, but yeah, I'm sure we'll get into talking about it. But first, let's get to know you. Where are you from and what do you do?
I'm from Hartford, Connecticut in the US, and right now I'm kind of like in between careers. For the last 10 years, I was a dispatcher for our state police here in Connecticut, and I was doing 911 and emergency calls, and that was a job that was I was probably hanging on after a while. It just was so hard to do with my conditioning, and so I left that job out pursuing IT.
Okay.
Yes, yes. Like some, what do you call it, like cybersecurity courses and stuff like that, so and then
Wow.
advocacy stuff as well, so.
Okay, cool. That's a bit different from what you were doing. Like, how are you adjusting to that change?
Well, I find that it's technological in its sense anyway, so it's in everything nowadays, so it's just like it's an adjustment, but I enjoy it, and I think that's kinda like the thing where I don't feel that stress of, like, "Can I do this?" And one thing this condition has taught me is that you have to be changeable. You have to be able to pivot when things kinda get a little hard, so right now, this is where we are.
So you have LGMD, which is obviously how we met. What's your type? Tell us a bit about how you were diagnosed.
Okay, right now, well, for the last 10 years, I've been diagnosed with LGMD type 2A. Um, Initially, I was diagnosed with Becker's muscular dystrophy. I was diagnosed probably, oh my goodness, late 90s, like 98. I was a teenager. I had broken my leg, and the doctor, when he was getting my cast off, was like, "You just don't seem strong enough. Like something's wrong." And my journey, I had muscle biopsies. I've had two muscle biopsies. And then fast forward to 2010-ish. That's when I kind of like got the DNA test, and that's when I knew exactly what I had, and I was re-diagnosed with limb-girdle 2A.
Wow, okay. So for a while, you were going about life thinking you had the correct diagnosis, but it wasn't. How did you relate to the symptoms of the Becker's disease? Were you thinking that something wasn't adding up?
I mean, I was so young when I was diagnosed, so it was scary, honestly, and because there wasn't a lot of information out either back then. So you read this stuff online, and it was just like, oh my goodness, like I don't know. I guess I had like a little doomsday kind of thing with Becker's at that time because I was just like, oh my god, I'm just waiting for me to be in my wheelchair. I'm waiting for me to not be able to do this and that, and maybe I'll die, and I just started like being that way, and it kind of just led me to this path where I kind of like gave up on myself for a while, if I'm being honest. I just kind of just was waiting for the bad, just like waiting for that. What do they say? Waiting for the other shoe to fall, like waiting for something bad to happen. So for me, I want to say the re-diagnosis kind of was like, oh, wait, you know, I can do more. I don't have to do this. And not to say, and now that I've been more educated on muscular dystrophy, even Becker's, people with Becker's can live a great life. But like at that time, being 13 years old and just seeing the bullet points of it all, it is frightening. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure that was tough for you, like just adjusting to that as well as trying to fit in and being a teenager anyway. Like being a teenager is tough, but on top of having a diagnosis of something that you're trying to understand, but when you Google it, it just basically just says death. Like
Right.
it's never Google your condition.
Oh, for real. And at that age, all you want to do is be normal. You don't want to stand out. You don't want to be like, oh, my unique abilities. You're just like, I just want to blend in and be like everyone else, and you can't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did you find like school and going to high school and things like that, like with your condition alongside it with your symptoms?
It's funny, when I was in high school, that's when kinda my symptoms started to really show, and, like, for the first few years, I being like I'm a tall guy, I kinda, like, did the whole, "Oh, I have a basketball injury." You know? You know, I played the game for a while as long as I could, and and,
Wow.
yeah, no, oh my gosh, I mean, and I would just play it up, "Oh, no, I just hurt myself," but over time, it's just like I think I overcompensated with trying to be the life of the party or, the funny guy or, anything to take focus off of, "Why do you walk funny? Why are you in that scooter?" I mean, because it developed all through, school. Like, first I was just walking on my toes, the waddle walk, and then I'm, like, unstable, I'm falling, and people are like, "Why did you fall?" You can't really explain. Then I got my scooter, the green machine. I had this, like, like the ones that you have at the shopping cart one.
Wait, with a little basket at the front? Stop! I love that. I want one.
They are
Okay.
awesome. I had the four-wheeler one. It was so fun.
I
Oh,
bet people were jealous. Surely people
yeah.
were jealous.
But eventually I made the most of it. Like, I mean, I went to a Catholic school, so I have the girl sitting on my lap and I'm coming down with my scooter. And eventually, I graduated and I got prom king and all those kind of things. And I was very
Yes!
social. So
That's so cool.
yeah, yeah. School was all right for me. It was a small community. So once my friends found out and I kind of just got to the point where I just kept it real, they embraced me and showed me love. And the fears were within me. It wasn't the people, the community.
That's so good. That's so good to hear because something that could easily set you apart from everyone else at school just brought together a community and brought your friends to support you and for you to be able to trust them and count on them no matter what. That's so good to hear. And prom king, so deserved.
You know what I'm saying? Thank you.
Okay, so then you got your when did you get your LGMD diagnosis again?
This was in college. This was like after
Okay.
2000, about 2008 or 9. Yeah.
Walk us through that. Like what was that like kind of going through that?
At that point, I just was like, what? It was just like, cause I mean, I don't know how your diagnosis process was, but when I was first diagnosed, it was like, they kinda just told you to stop doing all activities. Don't do any exercising, don't work out, just be safe and don't hurt yourself,
Yeah.
and I kinda bought into that, right? And then you mix that with some depression, and it's like you're gaining weight, and you're doing all these different things, and you're losing abilities. If you don't use it, you lose it. So I was kinda pissed. I'm not gonna lie, like, I was so pissed. I was like, "So, wait, I coulda walked longer, I coulda pushed myself," especially going to conference, seeing everybody who can kinda, like, still they're still ambulatory, whether they're using a walker or a scooter or something like that, but there's still a lot of ambulatory people in the LGMD community, and I think that comes with people who are diagnosed later on having that information of, "Do what you can, but pace yourself," That was not the message when I got that Becker's diagnosis, at all. I would say that's probably the most that I have some sort of, like, response to, like, or anger. It was just like, "What?" You know?
Yeah, I mean, that is tough in one way, like seeing other people and being like, oh, maybe I would have still been at that point if I'd done more. I mean, it's so easy to beat yourself up for that. But first of all, you didn't know. And second of all, you don't know if that would have changed much because everyone's progression is so different. And I guess I try not to think about, like, changing the past because you can't. But that was the advice I was given, like, don't do weights. Like, don't do anything in the gym, like, don't do cross country in school because you will, like, collapse, basically. So I just had to sit all these exercises out rather than have, like, an alternative. I had to just sit on the sidelines and watch everyone else do it and completely miss out altogether. And now I know that a bit of exercise is good, like, I do use my weights, but I use ones that I know I can deal with that are very kind of low intensity, and there is, like, a middle ground, but I don't think we were aware of that or the doctors were aware of that when we got diagnosed back in the 2000s.
Right, right. So, I mean, that's probably one of the biggest things that I'm just, like, learning to give myself grace, right? Like you said, like you can't hold yourself accountable for what you didn't know. So that's probably one of the hardest things, especially being a parent, because it's like, oh, I wish I could, run around with my little
Mm,
son and all that kind of stuff. So it's, yeah, but yeah.
yeah. How are you finding being a parent?
Oh my goodness. It's crazy because first of all, it's beautiful. I mean, I enjoy it to see him grow and it's awesome, to see that little version of you. There's the things in your face that muscular dystrophy kind of takes away, right? But there's little things like there's like parenting things that you aren't aware of until you cross that bridge. And like sometimes now I'm just like, oh, geez. Or like, like yesterday, one of his little friends, he was on FaceTime with one of his friends, and she goes, your dad's in a wheelchair. And he's like, "Yeah, my dad has muscular dystrophy, and over time, it makes him weaker." And it's just like to see him have to be able to grow into that, and it warmed my heart so much that he could even articulate that at 8 years old. But then at the same time, it's like, dang, it's like gift and a curse. I think it's just like the whole thing. It's just like to watch that resilience and strength of him is beautiful. But then at the same time, it's like to watch someone have to use their resilience and strength is tough,
Yeah.
you know?
That's so mature though. Like he's gonna grow to just be a lot more mindful, to be aware of like barriers that people wouldn't even think of unless they knew someone with a disability.
Yes.
And also just the mental like maturity, you know? Like he's already a step ahead of other people because he's got that lived experience to go off, you know?
Appreciate that.
That's so
Taking
sweet.
the conference was so important to me too, because in our world, with having such a rare disease, you don't get to touch and see people that much, and he started in his head developing like my dad's in the wheelchair. My dad has muscular dystrophy, but like he doesn't see other people that deal with it. So going to conference was so important for me so he could see other parents that have MD. He saw kids who have it. He saw siblings who have it. So it's like he understands now that it's bigger than just us, and it's not something where it's that he's going through. It's like it's us, it's a community. And honestly, that's been the game changer for me, community. Knowing you, meeting everyone else, it makes it's something that I get when I give my MD ambassador talks. I always talk about the concept of the bright spot, right? When I worked for the state troopers, I used to deal with a lot of troopers who were detectives who dealt with bad things. And there was a trooper who was the head of the Sandy Hook tragedy. And he was, I mean, you would never think that this guy dealt with such hard things, right? He was just so smiley and fun. And one day he and I worked together, and I was just like, how do you stay so positive? It's like, he says, the bright spots, Freddie. And I'm like, what do you mean the bright spots? He's like, well, obviously the bad thing happened. He said, but I got to connect two mothers that were grieving today. I got to, and it's like he went down a list of all these positive things that he did within this negative thing. And I hold that dear to me at this point in my life, the bright spots.
Wow,
Uh,
that's incredible. And it takes a lot to get to that point where you can stay positive about just things in life, but yeah, as much as there are bad things in life, there's always something good,
Yeah,
and you just gotta look for it.
yeah.
Sometimes you gotta look really hard for it,
Gotta look
but
hard sometimes.
yeah.
For
Some
sure.
days more than others,
Yeah.
definitely.
Oh yeah.
Wow, that's so sweet. Thank you for sharing that anyway. I mean, I'm not a parent yet. We'll see. But it's always nice to see like people with LGMD as parents because well, it wasn't necessarily advice, but after meeting a few people with LGMD, they've been like, I'm not like having kids. I'm not gonna like I won't be able to. And then I've met parents that have LGMD and I'm like, okay, well, this is possible. You
Yeah.
just gotta adapt in your own way, you know?
You want to hear something crazy? I mean, you talk about the signs. When we met my son's mom and we met our OB, and her husband has muscular dystrophy. And it was like random. He doesn't have LGMD, but he has MD. And she was like, we have 4 kids, and they don't have MD. And she's just like, it's gonna be harder some days, but you can do it. And it was just like, "Oh," it was just like this sign telling me like, "Yo, it's gonna be alright, dude."
Wow.
Isn't that so
That's so
crazy?
nice. Yeah, and it just makes such a difference. Even just knowing of one other person with
Yes.
it, it's like, "Okay, well, I'm not in this alone in this world."
Yeah.
Wow. So how did you find the conference? Was this the first one you went to?
This was the second one. It was great, honestly, that's why I came back. I mean, I'm kinda still you're still coming down from the high. It's like being around so many people who deal with life just that as it I mean, it's such a major piece of our lives, right? And meeting people who deal with it and, like, it just is so encouraging. It kinda, like, fuels my it just fuels me for the next however long, after. I don't know, it's a hard feeling to describe, but it gave me a feeling of connection that I hadn't felt in so long, and that's why I made a point. Like, I'm going to that conference every chance I get. I'm not even gonna lie to you. It was great. It was great. And, like, this year, because I brought my son, I didn't get to interact with the workshops as much as I did the first time, but, just like I said, the showing him the other families and the community, it was still great. It was still great.
Yeah, and that's gonna be really important to him just to see that representation and maybe for it to just feel a bit more normal, I guess.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I
Yep.
honestly felt the same kind of high after leaving the conference. I thought it would be a one-off because I'm from the UK, so I can't really get there as easily as most people that go, but I honestly just loved it so much because when you're in this world, you you're a minority, right? And when you're in these conferences, there's more of us and less of them in the outside world. And it's like, I'm not the minority anymore. Like, I can see everyone else here walks like me or has mobility aids like me. And
Yep.
it's just like such a safe space. And it kind of fuels me to go back into the world like, okay, at least I know that I'm not the only one going through this, you know?
Yes. Absolutely. I'll say this, like, from being in the US and growing up in the quote unquote hood, right? Like my knowledge of disabled people was just like you're poor, you struggle, and you just see those guys like in your neighborhood that's like broken down. And like it was so invigorating and inspiring to see people like yourself, who works in media. There's people who were therapists and all of us are have this same condition, but are living a life, and sometimes you can just be in your own world and you think like, this is my truth because this is the truth, right? But no, it's just like, this is just what's around you. And if you dare to expand your brain, you can see like there's other options. For a long time, I didn't know what was next, right? But then I see other people, and I'm like, oh, maybe I can try that, or maybe I can try this. You know?
Mm.
Yeah,
And you don't know what your options are until you see it, right? Like,
exactly.
if you thought that you were destined as a disabled person to just, like, not do anything and just sit around all day, then you're gonna think that that's the only option until you see and I don't know about you, but I love finding out what people's jobs are with LGMD. I'm like, "Okay, that's possible,
Right.
that's possible." I love it. It's
Yep.
yeah, and it's such a vibrant community, and, yeah, it just shows that you really can do anything. Like, you don't need to limit yourself just because you have LGMD. You just need to adapt, like you said.
Sir. Yes, ma'am. Yep.
So true.
Yeah.
How are you doing now? I mean, we've gone through college, we've gone through fatherhood. I mean, you're still obviously a father, but how are you doing right now?
I'm doing all right. It has its days, right? Like it's still the growing pains of it all. And I'm doing all right. I think that I have much more hope than I did, say, 5 years ago or 10 years ago. It's a struggle. It's a struggle, even just learning what you need and as your abilities change, how to adapt and even acquire the resources, right? Like there's resources out there too. Like right now, I need this new like Hoyer freestanding lift to help me get in bed. And the lady gave me the tab the other day. She was like, "Oh, it's gonna be like between 15 and 18,000." I'm like, yes." I'm like, "What?" And so it's like just tapping into figuring out how to get these things provided, how to take care of yourself. It's the challenge in it all. And honestly, that's what motivates me too, to even be an ambassador and to give back and to be part of these type of things like this podcast or whatever, to just help other people that might be in a smaller community that's just like, "Oh, I don't know I need this thing, but I don't know how to get it. Or, when people see me out with my driving my van, they go, "How did you get your van? Like, what did you do?" I don't have a problem. I'll talk for you for an hour, and just, all right, call this person, and so I'm dealing, but it's hard. It's learning how to adapt and to give it to God. I don't know if you're a religious person, but some things just you can't fight, and you just have to accept that. And I'm a person who likes control, and as I get older, I'm learning to give give it over.
Yeah, for sure. And it's so annoying that we have this condition as people who lack control because we literally have no control, both physically and just in life. But that's good because it's teaching us some important life lessons, I think.
For sure.
Thanks for keeping it real. I think it's easy to just jump online and be like, life is good, but day
Hey,
to day,
it's all right, it sucks sometimes. It's like, what
yeah.
do you do?
Yeah. I think it's hard for me because I like to wallow in the sadness for a bit, but then I don't like to do it for too long because I need to bounce back. Otherwise, I'll just stay there for a very long time. So, like, if I have a fall, I'm like, okay, I need to cry. And
Yeah.
then if I can't get back up, I'm like, wow, I really feel really useless right now. I know I'm not, but in that moment, you do.
Oh, yeah.
Um, but then, the next day comes and you're like, okay, life isn't over. You just carry on.
Yes.
So it's all about like just kind of ebbing and flowing with the emotions, right? Some day it's nice, some days it's terrible. But I think some days that are the worst days are the days that make me feel more disabled. Like if I come across like more barriers in life or like if I'm separated, like if I'm with a group of friends and I'm separated
Yes.
because like there's a set of stairs if we go somewhere or it's just little things like that. Like those are the days that make me more aware of my condition more than any other day, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. And like you said, I think it all, it's funny. I just say we get older, like I don't think that we really change that much. And it's kind of like the same thing that I had felt as a teenager is like sometimes you just want to be normal. Sometimes you don't want to go in the back entrance or go down that long, ominous hallway to the one elevator, like you just want to go to the front door and
Yeah.
just enjoy yourself, but I'm learning to, especially having a child, I'm learning to not wallow in the sadness too much and to find that joy again. I was telling my friend the other day, it was like, man, when's the last time you just was like, oh my God, yes, like you know what I mean? Like just like when's the last time you did that, and I just want to get back there. And that's kind of what my goal is right now. It's not a physical destination or a financial one, but I think that MD and just like the give and take of it has brought me in this place of cynicism and like pessimistic. It's like, not all the time, and it's like, I don't want to be that guy, especially when you see it manifesting in a little kid. You're like, no, I don't want to do this to someone. So I'm learning to change and see the brightness in some of it, like for real.
Mm.
That's my
I don't
mission.
know about you, but I use a lot of disabled humor.
Mm,
You have to, right?
yes, you do.
Like, I have 2 younger sisters who also have 2I like me,
Okay.
but they can do a lot more than I could at their age, so it's kind of hard for me, but I'm like, if I watch, like, my sister get up from the floor, I'm like, just you wait, you won't be able to do that soon."
Right. Oh, you think you got it?
"Mm,
Got it now.
just you wait, you don't know what's coming." So, yeah, we do joke about it together, which is quite nice.
Just a good health journey. That's where I'm at now. Like, I want to get back to just feeling better again. You know?
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah. What kind of things are helping you just deal with, like, pain or any, like, little struggles with your MD?
I do. What do you call those things? My mom got me this thing that's like one of those vibrating plates that like helps you stimulate blood circulation.
Oh, yeah.
I love that thing. I so many things that I could think of, but I know other people have said before, but that's one because I don't walk and like blood circulation started to become a thing, like especially during COVID because I was getting out a lot more before that, but then I got used to just like sitting still. And then I started getting like edema sometimes where I'll get swelling in my legs and it was like, ugh. So that vibrating plate, if you got one, if you can get one,
Mm.
Those things are awesome.
Okay. I don't have one. I'm gonna have to look into that. I've also heard that massage guns are good for, like, similar reasons.
It's
I
kinda
don't
like the
know.
same thing. It's kinda like the same
Mhm.
thing, but mine is just like this platform. You just can put your feet flat on it and just
That's so fun.
oh, it feels so good.
I would ask you to demonstrate, but I don't want you to humiliate yourself like that on the
Next
podcast. It would be
episode.
so fun. Oh, please do a YouTube video on that. That would be so
I
funny.
will, that would be funny, yes, yes, I love that idea.
Speaking of, I know you mentioned when we met,
Mhm.
that you do YouTube. Tell us a bit about that.
So, I mean, right now, I'm just been, like, just gathering tons of content. I haven't really posted much, but like I told you, like, that journey of finding that happiness again, that's really what the point of my page is. I mean, I think there's so many of us who do, like, the educational thing and sharing, but I think I wanna it's really just a personal journey. It could be anybody's YouTube page because mine is more called it's called Finding Fred, and really, I'm just trying to find that guy again. I'm trying to find that prom king. I'm trying to find that I want my son to see the fun side of me, not the pick your shoes up. No, we can't do that. Come on, hurry up. I don't want to always be that guy. I want him to know that not that I'm cool, but like that I'm happy. I want him to think that know that that is like content. And it's
Mm.
just finding that Fred again. Yeah.
You are
So
cool. I
thank
mean, first impressions only, but you are
appreciate
quite
that.
cool. You do not seem like that strict parent at all.
Oh, and you know what it is? Because his mom is so much more cooler than me that I have to be the tough one.
Oh no, you were outnumbered.
So then I gotta be the tough one. Oh, man.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. So the coolness level is high. It
It's too
must
much.
be.
It's overflowed.
Oh, wow. I like that though. I like that you're really in touch with yourself and wanting to just ground yourself as much as you can and keep things real and find the goodness in life because life's too short, right?
Yes, yes. So I got a good one. So and I'm gonna document this one. So I'll be, like, vlogging it too, but one of our fellow LGMDers, Keisha Greaves,
Mhm.
slightly different spelling than mine, but Graves is as well. Cambridge, Mass. She's a fashion designer. She does a lot of inclusive clothing. She's doing, ironically, a fashion show in my state. So I was like, you know what? I don't do this type of stuff, but I'm gonna show up for my friend. So I'm gonna be in her fashion show.
You're
Um,
gonna be in it?
yes, I will be in her fashion show.
I
Yes.
thought you were gonna say, like, "I'm gonna go support, I'm gonna
Nope.
watch."
I'm gonna be
You're
in
gonna
it.
be in it?
Yes.
That's
So
incredible.
I don't even
When
know
is
what she
it?
looks like. Yes. October 11th.
Okay, so by the time this episode comes out, it will have already happened. So,
Okay.
guys, check this video out. Like, Fred, this is past you holding
Yes.
yourself accountable. You better
Yes.
be
Holding me
vlogging.
accountable. Listen, I confirmed yesterday, so I won't back out on this one.
Wow.
Yes.
Oh, wow. That's incredible. I can't wait to see that. I'm so
Yeah.
proud of you guys.
Yeah. Thanks.
I'm jealous I'm not there. Like, wow, that's so cool. See, it's just so good to see other LGMD friends just smashing it out there, doing cool things,
It's
different
awesome.
things.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's like I started finding people that I would just connect with, and then we just kind of talk and push each other. Yeah, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do that.
Yeah, you never know unless you try.
Thanks. That's so
That's
true.
so cool.
That is so cool. Like seeing that inclusiveness. Like I told my son, I said, give me a year. I'm gonna be in Target. Like I wasn't wanted to try it. You know what I mean? Now that that stuff is changing, I want to be a spokesperson for us because I remember thinking like, oh, I'm done. Oh, I have a muscular dystrophy. I'm gonna be in a wheelchair. I'm cooked. No one's gonna like me. Like, and now it's just like this world is so accepting, at least on the surface, right? And I want to be part of that. So
Yeah. And
yeah.
it's so important to see yourself represented out in the world. Do you feel like there's enough representation right now? Or or growing up, did you feel like you had enough people to look up to and be like, this is what I want to be like?
Not at all. Not at all. I've never seen I mean, it wasn't until I was a good adult that I was like, "Oh, see that person? I wanna be like him," you know? and it was like a fellow ambassador that I met, and I was just like, "Wow, he's really cool, like, I like how he does his thing," you know? But no, no, especially not the media, no, not anybody, not anyone of the disabled community, you know?
I feel like it's something you have to still look for. It's not something that's, like, in mainstream, like, it's not gonna come across some random person's feed unless the algorithm knows that they're interested in that kind of world.
Right.
So I think we've still got a way to break into anyone's algorithm, not
So
just our little community. Like, we already know,
right, right.
like, we need to push this out to everyone else that
Absolutely,
maybe don't know.
absolutely. And that's kind of why I'm doing my vlog that way, my content where I want it to be more lifestyle based, where it's more like anyone can be inspired that, here's this person starting here and they're trying to get here, as opposed to this is what limb-girdle muscular dystrophy. And like that's part of it. That's part of who I am. But we're all so much more, and that's partly what I want to show. And that relatable side is just I can inspire anyone that wants to change and grow and get better and get in touch with what's holding them back, or you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. What kind of work are you doing with MDA?
So I'm just starting my 3rd year as a ambassador. So far I've been part of a couple events. I've spoken, I go to the Fill the Boot kickoff. I don't know. Do you guys do Fill the Boot over there?
I don't think I've heard
Yeah,
of that.
yeah,
No.
yeah.
What is it? Enlighten us.
Okay, so MDA is the Muscular Dystrophy Association. And what the Fill the Boot is, it's a fundraiser that they do where the fire departments will go out and do fundraising. And it's just kind of like a play on words, right? They would back in the day they would fill their boots, literally those big tall fire boots with donations. And now it's just a word they use, a term, but it's fundraising for the youth camp for the muscular dystrophy youth camp. So I usually speak at the kickoff where all of the regional firefighters come together, and it's just kind of like a kickoff to motivate the fundraiser people, the different departments. And the one that I spoke at, it was the firefighters from basically almost the whole East Coast. So it'll be fire departments from all over the East Coast, and they'll come together and we kind of just do breakout groups. It's like a conference, and a couple of us from the community will speak to them and like thank them and talk to them about services that we receive through the MDA and let them know that it's just not money they're collecting and going to nowhere, right? It's just cool to touch the fundraisers, touch the people that are donating money, and then other people in the community. I enjoy being an ambassador a lot. And then also, the highlight of being an ambassador, you would think it'd be going out and doing like cool things, but just we have like a monthly ambassador meeting where, I mean, a good one will be like 50 families and it'll be 50 different ambassadors and be all of us on like a live video chat and we'll just break out and talk to each other. And that's so cool. I enjoy that so much.
Wow,
Yeah.
that is really cool. It's just so nice to connect with other
It
people in
is.
the community. That's the most important thing.
Yes.
Wow. That's so cool to hear about, like, the work that MDA do because MDA is obviously an American thing. So, I've obviously heard of them and I'm aware of, like, the work that they're doing, but it's nice to hear, like, the work they're doing, like, in
Yeah.
the communities.
They work as I would say, sometimes you hear people and see people online that criticize them. And I mean, there's always room for improvement, right? But at the same time, I think they work more as like a liaison to connect. Cause I mean, there's so many types of MDs, right? So it's like, how do you help just like so many of us, and it's just like they help us connect with those smaller communities, so like the C3 community for us or the Speak Foundation, and it kind of funnels people into where they should be, right? And I think it's so cool. I mean, the MDA has really, back in the day when I was a kid, they had a person that would come to your hospital and be at your appointments, and they would hang out with you and just talk with your family and kinda, like, be that person that just explains what's going on. It was really cool. They're really
Wow.
awesome. Yeah,
That's really cool.
and it's heartwarming to see that one of the bigger things too is seeing the youth in the MD community, the, younger MDA ambassadors, right? I mean, these kids have so much confidence and belief in themselves that I just couldn't even fathom at 16, 17, and I'm just so impressed by them when they give their speeches. I mean, I don't even wanna list names because I don't wanna forget someone, but it's a few of them. They're just so awesome, and I mean, I tear up. I'm like, "Oh, I'm inspired by them, and yeah, no, it's just cool. It's cool to see different people at different stages and to see that the work we're doing is making a mark. These kids are so much more comfortable within their cells and in their skin. And I don't see them dealing with this do I belong thing that a lot of us older people with MD kind of have dealt with. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, wow. If only that was around when I was growing up. Like, it's just so nice to see that we are moving in the right direction when it comes to representation and also a community. Because I know it's a rare disease, but now we're all connected. So it is like a family.
Yes, I met 2 little girls at the last thing I did, and they are best friends from summer camp, and they both have the same subtype, but they met each other at summer camp, and now, like, one girl's mom will pick her up in their van, and they're both in a chair. It's so cute, and it's just like, I love it because I was an adult when I met someone with MD, you know? And it's just like, they're roommates in college now, like, oh, it's like, come on, you know what I'm saying? So
Stop.
yeah, it's beautiful. It's
Oh,
beautiful.
where's the movie? I
I'm
need a movie of
telling
this. That's so sweet. Well, thank you so much for sharing. I've honestly learned a lot about the work that MDA does, and it just like fuels my hope for people with LGMD for the future. And just when it comes to careers or just life in general, like it really is limitless. It's just about adapting.
Sure.
I want to end this episode by asking you a question that I ask all my interviewees, which is what is one piece of advice that you would give your younger self or anyone that's struggling?
Tap into community. Don't run away from what's going on. Tap into community and learn what you're going through and connect with someone who's going through what you're going through. And it's not your fault.
Yeah, well said. I like that. Amazing. Is there anything else you want to add?
No, thank you so much for having me. I
Thank you.
enjoyed this
We've had such a nice time. I hope we can keep in contact.
for sure.
Fred is an amazing guy, guys. Please follow him on socials. Where can we find you on social media?
You can find me on Facebook, Fred Graves. You'll see my picture. Or you can find me on YouTube, Finding Fred. It's like some videos up, but you won't see any videos, but you'll see me. And Instagram, I am King Fred, KNGFRD.
And I will put all the details in the description below as well. Thank you guys so much for listening to our conversation. I hope you enjoyed it. If you got to the end, we appreciate you. Thank you so much to Cure LGMD2I for sponsoring this podcast. I will be back with you guys with another episode very soon. But until then, thanks for watching. Bye.